MyClone.is sounds like an amazing piece of software because what it does is it creates a virtual clone of you and your voice, and it can be used to speak with your customers, to assess your customers' needs, to be their coach, whatever you really ask it to be. Now, sounds great in theory, right? In this video, I'm going to break down the pros and the cons. Let's start with the first con, and I'll tell you my name. Richard Butler, I'm Irish, and I review different LTDs or lifetime deals. Now, that in itself is not a con, that's a good thing, but the con is I'm Irish. And this is a problem for most AI voice emulators or voice clones. They can't seem to get the Irish accent. I've had this with different software that I bought, that it sounds a little bit like me and then suddenly it goes into an American accent. So be aware of this, that the voice cloning is quite good, but it's not exceptional. Now, I've been told by the developers that they are going to be constantly improving this and trying to improve it. But don't let that put you off this piece of software. I think it has a lot of potential. There's, as always, a link in the comments or in the description if you would like to pick this up. So let's talk about how this can be useful. Well, you have a limited amount of time. You have people who want discovery calls. Maybe if you could get a virtual you to pre-screen them, and if they are suitable, then to actually send them to your booking page, that could be quite useful, I think, because you don't want time wasters. Now, how does it do this? Well, you build up your persona, and from that you instructed what it should do, and like any AI chat system, because there's also a text chat, you build up the resources into the knowledge base so that it knows more about you. What have my experiences been like? Well, actually it's pretty good, and here's my use case. I want to allow people to get an assessment of how well they communicate. Now, I don't have time to do that. So what I built is a system where they will connect with my virtual me, not with me. They will start to talk to my virtual me. It will assess whether they have at least an intermediate to higher intermediate level of English. And if they do, it will then allow them to do a recording or to present something, 2 or 3 minutes, and it will then assess how they are getting on. And from that, it will then invite them to a call, or it will send them to other resources. That's the theory. I'm still fine-tuning this, so it works pretty good, but I'm still fine-tuning it until I get people in to actually test it for me. So how do we do this? We go into personas. Okay, it comes up, skip the tour. And we go to add a new persona. Okay, so here we have add new persona. Now, rather than going through all of that, what I'd like to do is I'd like to show you how this actually looks. So if I go here, it looks like this, and I can actually change the whole look of the system here. And I would say start voice chat, and it would then start the voice chat, or I could start a text chat here. Okay, and you'll see this is one of the things that I asked them to do, and I would prefer a bit of finer control on this, but I asked them, is it possible to give people a limited amount of time to actually talk to me? Because I don't want people using up all of the credits and having an hour conversation. Depending on your tier, you get between 60 minutes to 3 hours to 5 hours. Okay, so let's go back here and have a look at the settings. Well, actually, before we do that, the first thing you want to do is you want to go to the voice clone, and you want to clone your voice. Okay, and cloning your voice is really easy. You just hit the record button. It asks you to read a piece of text, and then it clones your voice. Okay, super simple. We have the knowledge base here. You can connect it to your LinkedIn, which I did, and at any time I can just refresh that, okay, if I want, and I type in my LinkedIn URL. I can connect it to my website. I can upload documents, YouTube videos, whatever I want. The more you upload, the better it will know, and the more documents you upload, the better it will actually be able to perform. So let's go back into personas. I go to settings, and this is where the magic happens. So the basic info. I put in a description here of what I want them to do. Okay, non-native business professionals who use English as a second language. You will give 3 pieces of advice, and if they want more, you will invite them to a call. I'm still tweaking that to make sure it does that. This is the chat greeting. Okay, and then here, if I go down, I will actually see that I can actually put in some suggested questions if I want. Okay, the avatar. Okay, this is my picture. I don't know why I've gone sideways there. I have to see, but I would upload my picture and it would be there. Prompt configuration. Now, every single step through this, it tells you what you need to do. Describe your professional experience, establish your persona's authority and expertise, and it gives examples here. So it tells you to write in the third person. I've done that. My primary expertise. What should the conversation achieve? Okay, an analysis of a voice clip. You must analyze each interaction, make sure it's above B2 level. If not, you don't engage or offer help. You send them to study some resources here. Okay, perfect. So what should happen is the AI will initiate a conversation. If you don't have a good level of English, it will say, sorry, but why not try these resources? Who will chat with the persona? I put in who will do it. You give examples of how a conversation might go. Okay. And this really helps if you put this in, because it helps the AI learn about how you might talk about this. Okay. How should the persona approach problems? Okay, I give it all the information, and all of these, there's examples. How should the conversations progress? So here, with the help of the support guys, I put in 2 different scenarios. Okay, you'll tell them that you're here to assess them. Okay, if you determine they are B2, do this. If they are B2 or want general English, send them to this site. Okay, and then we define response styles and what you should always avoid. Okay, no legal information, no medical information, no financial or other specialist advice. Okay, always maintain the defined persona. Communicate as Richard Butler, and as I said, I got all of these and adapted them from their examples here. So it's very well structured, everything. I then go to voice selection and I select the voice I want. I go to language. Okay, I always want to respond in English. Email capture. Okay, if I want to capture the email, I can go here and I can say after one message, ask for their email. Okay. Discard that change. I can enable calendar by putting in my calendar link here, my Google, my Calendly, whatever it may be, and then a display name if I want. Now this is what I had asked them about, and it's the session limits. So this is really good. I can say a maximum time that somebody can interact is 5 minutes. The only problem with this is that after the time limit they can reconnect again, which they can start a new session, which I would prefer not to, because otherwise they can just continue to use up sessions. If I want to monetize, I can say enable paid access here. My knowledge sources, okay, where is it getting the knowledge? Okay, I can enable for each persona. And access control, if I wanted to offer this just, for example, for certain clients, I could actually say access control, and I could put in their emails here. Now, they will get a one-time password, just to make sure that they are who they say they are. Saves all the hassle of passwords, etc. I mean, it's a one-time code that they use there, and that's it. So I can set up different personas. I can look at the conversations, okay, and I can see summaries of the conversation here. Okay, this generates an AI summary. Okay, tells me what this is about. I have widgets here where I can actually customize the widget fully. I can white label this. I can launch it on my own domain, which I've done here. Okay, so if I go to this click here, it's actually going to show me my my persona here. I don't know why it doesn't show my picture there. Maybe something has changed, because it used to show the picture there. Workflows I'm still trying to figure out. The idea of a workflow is that when X is done, Y will happen. Okay, so if I go into create new workflow, it says assessments, intakes, etc. I need to play with that more. Integrations, if you want to integrate with Zapier, Stripe, etc. I'm excited by the Go level, the Go high level, because with Go high level, it will actually put it into your CRM as well, which would be really, really good. Access control, we looked at that. Limits and usage, okay, it tells me how many limits I have. I have 180 minutes here. It always resets on the 1st of March. And then I have my profile there. So that's all there is to this. I think where the hard work comes in is actually tweaking it to make sure that it is exactly the way you want it. Okay, so let's just have a look here. If I go in here, I want to speak English. Okay, and it will go off and it will start to think. Now there's 2 minutes left because the timer was thinking there at the time. So this will come up with an answer. Not sure why it's a little bit slow there. So let me just refresh. Okay, so I'm just going to put in, hi, I want to speak English, okay? And this will go off and it will access the knowledge base. And it says, hi, to make sure I can help you best, could you please share a short sample of your English, either a voice message or a few sentences that you've written. I don't really like that it shows the sources here, okay? I don't know why it does that, and they say that they're going to turn that off, okay? So I might say, I work manager and have in charge of 10 persons who work for my theme. I want more impact. Okay, let me just put that in. So what it should do now is it will assess that. It says, thanks for sharing that. Your message is clear enough to understand, but I noticed some grammar mistakes. Your level is just below B2. Okay. It gives a couple of examples and it says, to get the level of impact you want, I'd recommend first strengthening your grammar foundation. Please visit TTD. Once your English reaches B2, I'll be happy to help you develop a confident impact style. So the idea here is that I am using this to filter out people. Okay. And again, it has different resources there. So as a tool, I think it really works. My worry is 3 hours of time per month. That could go very quickly if you had somebody who constantly just kept reloading and retalking to the actual AI. Is it worth it? I think it has a lot of potential. I think, I always say it, I mean, with LTDs you have to be careful, but I think this is one that could work really well if they manage things correctly. Now, at the moment you can't bring your own key. It's all just the credits here that you use, and you can actually buy more credits or more time, for example, of voice chat. And I think, don't hold me to this, I think it's something like $10 for 100 minutes, which is really, really good. Personally, I love that because I played around with one of these systems that was a bring your own key, and it was horrendous. It was really awful because I tried to do something and then it used up all my credits. So I like this idea of paying them for amount of credits per month. But if you don't want to pay per month, get the LTD on AppSumo right now. Description has a link ready for you. Leave your comments, questions, and I will let you know how I get on. I will update this video with another video. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Talk to you in the next video.